Hello, my Zentangle friends. This is Barbara Langston, CZT. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to another session of Not Perfect Zen. I hope you're having a good day. I usually do my videos on Wednesday. Yesterday did not work out well for me, so I'm doing it on Thursday this week. No mistakes. We're just here to focus on the Zentangle method and do a tile that I hope you'll enjoy. This is my contact information, and if you post on social media, please use @BBL_Tangles when you do one of my tiles, so I'm notified and I can come see what you've done. I recently did a Zen button, and I just wanted to show you that I found this one, which was the first one that I did that was small on a bijou tile. I actually laminated it. It's done with jelly roll pen, and looks like it was a gray bijou tile. Hold, take 10 deep breaths, repeat as necessary, and I have used it. So I just wanted to show that to you. It was really fun, and I was happy to share that with you. I like going through the older tangles, and there are some of the older tangles that were in a list that I got from Linda Farmer when I was doing the 102 Tangles of Zentangle series. And one of those tangles on that list of 110 tangles is Centipede. And I got to looking in the Zenthology, which is what CZTs get at seminar. And there are actually two other ways that you can do Centipede that I bet you haven't seen. And you probably don't see just this pattern very often. This is the one that you usually see, but there are two other ways to do it. And in the newer Zenthology, it's only these two, but I still want to show you that one. And I'm going to combine it with the pattern called Vortex by Sandra Straight. And on tanglepatterns.com, Linda Farmer does a refresher, I think once a month or something like that. And this week, she did a refresher, and in it, she included this string. And you can find lots of different string ideas on the Tangle Patterns website. And there's also a way to bring up a random string. But anyway, I liked this one, and I thought I would put these together on a tile. And it's going to be very interesting, and I hope you enjoy it. We will be using a Zentangle 3.5 inch tile. You can use anything that you have on hand, any paper, any size tile that you would like to draw on. I'll be using a Micron 01, my graphite pencil, and my blending tool, also known as a tortillon. And I'm going to try, adding a little bit of light from this angle and see if it helps with the shadow. Okay. We are going to start, first of all, with gratitude and appreciation. I do appreciate the tiles that I got from Zentangle. I tried recently, let's see, I don't think I have it in here, but I cut up a Kleenex box and made some tiles from that, but I don't like them. Yeah, here they are. So I tried tangling on them, and I don't like the texture and the graphite pencil just did not do well for shading. But just to let you know, like I do have, this is a pizza box that I cut up, and this works really well, but for some reason that other paper did not. But it's fun to try. Okay. So I am grateful for the fact that we can use just any kind of paper. Just use what you have on hand, okay? And I am going to start with the 4 corner dots. And I'm going to put these out a little ways. And this will become part of our border. It's kind of a guide for me as a border. And I am going to show you 4 different ways to do Centipede. And the first will be the traditional way that you usually see it. And it starts with just an orb, okay? And I'm going to make these a fairly good size. And then you kind of echo that a little bit and then come around. So this becomes a ribbon. So just echo that a little and come back around. And usually when I see it on other tiles, it's just a small ribbon or a way to divide a couple of patterns. And that one looks kind of like a bean. And we'll put one more. Okay, and then we just put these lines down here at the bottom. And it's not meant to be an actual centipede. It's just what they named it. Okay, so that's one way to do it. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the other side, and we're going to basically do the same thing. So our orb, but this time instead of doing that echo or the aura to begin with, we're just going to connect them. And I've seen it done this way several times. So do what's comfortable for you. And I was using that border to just kind of line them up a little bit better. And we'll just leave that for now. And then I'm just going to do the same thing as far as putting these little lines down here. It's funny, I've gone through that Zenthology so many times, and I've never really noticed those other 2 patterns, or variations anyway. You know what, I think I'm just going to end it this way. This is my art. I can do it the way I want to, right? Okay, the next one I'm going to do starts out very similar to these, and I'm just going to let that orb touch that one. So I'm just going to put orbs all the way down. And we say orb because it doesn't need to be a perfect circle. If I take my time, it does look a little better. And I'm going to try to get 2 to fit in here. All right. Almost perfect, right? And this one, it was not very big in the Zenthology, so, and it was kind of hard to see exactly what they were doing, but it seemed almost like there were 2 C curves and then an orb in the center, and one side was darkened. And they were randomly placed in there as far as these C curves and the orbs. And, you know, one thing I want to emphasize is that the art in the Zenthology is not perfect. And I love that. And I have to tell you, my granddaughter, she is 7 years old. She was trying to copy something she had seen on YouTube. It was an little short art video, and it was somebody drawing an avocado, kind of little comical avocado. And I gave her a piece of paper, a regular copy size piece of paper. And it wasn't long before she came in and asked me which of my little bins she could recycle her paper in. And she had crumpled it up. She said, "It's not perfect." And she threw it away. And I said, "Oh no." So I went with her and I asked her, I said, "Do you think my work is perfect?" "Yes." I said, "No, it's not." "And what about your sister? She had done something similar." I said, "Is her art perfect?" "Yes." And I showed her. I said, "No, it's not." And so I gave her a couple ideas on how to do what she wanted to draw. And she sat down and she had an eraser so that she could adjust her lines. And she did it. And she was happy with it. And it just kind of tore me up that she wanted to throw away something and that she thought it had to be perfect. It doesn't. Okay. All right. Sorry, I just had to share that. It's the first time I had heard her say it's not perfect. Anyway, okay, we're going to do the same thing as far as putting some orbs down this way. And these are going to touch just like on the other side. Oh, no, they're not supposed to touch like that. Okay, let me show you. This is what we're trying to do. So I didn't put that part, but that's okay. We're going to do an orb. And then we're going to do another one inside. And then we put just these 2 little things that come off of it. Okay. And then we put our orb again. Okay, so this is where it's good for you to watch first. No mistakes, right? Okay, like that. And I'm going to go ahead and put that circle inside. Another one with an aura inside. And again, these just make interesting borders or ribbons. turn in your tile. Keep your hand comfortable. Okay, I made that one kind of big on purpose. And then I'm going to have this come in this direction, and we'll go ahead and just connect. Okay. And then inside of these, they have two lines, and then we fill in this section. Okay, so just a small white area, or not colored. Okay, so you can make this as wide or narrow as you'd like. I thought this one was very interesting. Kind of like the top of a screw. Isn't that cool? I don't think I've ever seen anybody do it this way. I've only ever seen it like this. I have the Zenthology that was printed in 2017. And like I said, my newer Zenthology does not have this one in it. And I'm curious if you watched the live International Day of Zentangle, where Rick and Maria drew a new pattern called IZOD, which stands for International International Day of Zentangle. I really enjoyed watching them. I always do. Okay, we're going to put an aura around all of this on the inside and out. And it'll be an odd tile, but it's fun. And you've learned some different ways to do this pattern. Okay, always turn in your tile to keep your hand comfortable. Okay, you can just do smooth across there if you want. I was trying to do kind of a little bump, but I don't think it shows up very much. So if you're watching and then you do your tile, you can decide how you'd really like yours to look. And you may decide you only want to do this one all the way around, or that or that. I just enjoy showing you the options. Okay, now we're going to do an aura around the outside. Okay. And I did these kind of big so it wouldn't take too long to show you the variations. Okay, what do you think? All right, so now we're going to put the string. So if you want, you could do it in ink. We're going to actually ink it in, but if you prefer, you can do it with pencil first. And I'm just going to make this C curve come out and go back to that corner. Doesn't have to be a perfect shape. Do the same thing here and go back. And then we're just going to kind of take off from here and put a curve. And then I'm going to kind of take off from here and add a curve. Not trying to get them absolutely even. All right. So we'll move that. Go back to our pen. And I'm going to go ahead and fill those in with ink. You could leave it as pencil if you would like. I think it makes it easier to have it in ink because we're going to kind of be focused toward going from a center to that line. Okay? And I'm just going to go, this is Vortex. I'm going to go in the center of this and just kind of copy that basic shape. And I'm going to go over it a couple of times. Make it dark. And then a vortex is kind of spinning, right? So we're going to do a curved line from this point and then just keep turning your tile and curving your line. And I do have a bad habit of not going all the way to the line. All right, just, my hand is not changing position. My tile is. Oh, and if you watched the International Day of Zentangle with Maria, her hand is doing better. I honestly don't know what happened, but she does have a little bit better grip on her pen than she did. Okay, so there's our center one. If you wanted to, you could make these closer. You know, put more in there. You can make as many or as few as you would like. So if you think these are too far apart, add some more in there. All right, so I'm going to come down here to this one, and I'm just going to do basically what I did up here. You could put any shape in here that you want. I'm just going to kind of mimic the shape that it is in. You could start with just a circle or a square. And then I like to just darken this and give a little bit of drama there toward the center. I did order some new eyeglasses today. Maybe I'll do better. Okay, again, I'm going to do a curve. I think I'll stop that one there. And this is one of those tangles that really changes when you add the shading. The shading makes all the difference on this pattern. I found a pattern or a tile I had done. Oh, here it is. Like this. Not sure when I did this one, but that is Vortex and Betweed, and Paradox. And when I found that one, I thought it would be fun to show you that pattern. I'm trying to organize my tiles a little bit, which is quite a mess right now. But that's how I'm finding some of these that I want to share. Okay, when I get over here, I'm not trying to make these lines match up. If they do meet, that's fine. If they don't, I'm not trying to get them to match. I'm going to put another couple of lines in here where they're really spaced out. Doesn't have to be a certain amount of spacing on any of these. Okay, and this one, I think I'll make more of kind of an orb, oblong. Kind of to match that shape, and then start doing the same thing. These kind of patterns are very relaxing to me. They're generally called, excuse me, line meditations because you're just doing simple lines. And it can become very meditative. Okay, I'm going to add another one in there. And again, I'm not trying to match them up. All right, I think I'm going to add another one here. Okay. Coming around to this one. I don't like how I did this one. I'll try to fix it. Okay. So, try to get these to be about the same. a little bit wider. And when we add the shading, it'll really make it look nice. So again, just adding some weight to this. And then starting your curves again. Just take your time. Excuse me, very simple C curve. Like I said, you could put this orb at the center of all these. It doesn't have to be a square. Make it your art. And don't worry about making it perfect. That's what I tried to tell my granddaughter, that there is no perfect art. But they do like to watch little art videos on YouTube. And this week we took rocks. We looked outside for flat rocks, and we saw a craft video that talked about you heat up the rocks and then melt crayons on them. And of course, we had to be very careful, but that was fun. Just didn't turn out quite as pretty as we thought they were going to, but we had fun. I do apologize that I have a chronic cough. Trying to work on it, but we haven't been able to fix it. Okay. So like I said, you can come in here if you think they're too wide. Add as many or as few lines as you'd like. We're going to start the shading. And I'm going to start in the center so that I'm not putting my hand on top of this as I'm trying to do the outside. And I'm going to put a pretty good amount of graphite around this center of our vortex. And then a good amount on both sides of this line, because we're going to be shading that one too. Okay, so I do have my pencil kind of flat in my hand, so that I'm using the side of my pencil for the shading. And like I said, it's okay if you want to cross that line. We'll go ahead and jump down to this one. Keep turning your tile. Keep your hand comfortable. Let's do this one. And I am right on top of that line. And then we're going to go along this little curved line that we did, the aura, around the centipede pattern. If you're doing this on a colored tile, like a tan bijou like this, then it is nice because you can add the white charcoal and get things to show up better like a highlight. Okay, let's do the around this. And like I said, I do want the graphite on both sides of that line. And this is where I was saying, if you don't add the, if you left this as a pencil line, it would have still been fine. Okay. So we're just doing the same thing around each of these. And you're pointing your pencil to where you want the darkest part of your line to be, okay? And that's right along these lines. Okay, we're going to add it along this aura. And when we get it all done, it's going to look really cool. Might be kind of an odd looking tile, but we're not looking for perfect. I just want to enjoy what I'm drawing, and I enjoyed this tile. Okay, along here. Do want to say that I don't speed up my videos and I don't add music. I did get a comment from someone who found my one video, and I get this occasionally. They find the one video where I tried adding music, and what I did was on my computer I just played a song while I was recording my video, but it turned out that it was really loud on the video itself, but it was a very detailed video where I had done a lot of pretty little botanical type patterns and stuff, and I couldn't get it, I couldn't remove the music, and I didn't want to redo the video, so in the title there's an apology. It says, "I'm sorry. Please excuse the music." And I haven't done that since, just saying. I learned from that. Okay, so now I have my tortillon, my blending stump. And if you're new to this channel, I put this in here because I'm hard on my tips, and this helps me to kind of keep it pushed out. I am going to take it out for now because then it's easier to hold this in my hand. And then I'm just softening little tiny circles, softening that because I do want to leave some white space in there that doesn't have any graphite on it. Okay, just come along and just push the graphite into the paper and soften it. Bring it towards the center. But we're not going to fill it in. You do want to leave areas without any graphite. So look at the difference between that one and that one. So it gives it some depth that makes it look like it's going down, like a vortex. Okay, again, just soften that, soft little circles so we don't see an obvious edge. And same thing along here. Trying to leave this without any graphite. Same thing along here. Okay, just very softly blending. I love patterns like this where the shading makes a difference like it does. Okay. Add a little bit more right along here. I'm doing just teeny tiny circles. Pulling that graphite up toward the center. Again, don't bring it all the way over to this other part. We want to leave that unshaded area. I just love the difference it makes. And you can always come back and add more graphite. Okay, soften these edges. Push them out a little bit. All right, isn't that cool? I just love how that looks. All right, for these, I'm just gonna put a little bit of shading across the tops of these orbs. Okay. Same thing along here, just just because I don't know what else to do. This will be fine. This is how they shaded the other part for Centipede, so I'm gonna do it like that. If you have a different idea, go for it. Make it your art. You know, watch what I've done, take what you like, and try it on your tile, and don't do the rest. Okay, I'm not going to put anything on this one. Maybe one little part, just because. Okay. Now we're just gonna come back and soften that. Since that's where those touch, just put a little bit of shading there. Soften these. Okay. Since we have so much shading in here, I just want to be gentle on what I put on the border. Our focus is this center vortex. Okay, what do you think? Again, this is just a way for me to show you the different ways to do Centipede and Vortex. Isn't that cool? You could, if you wanted to, come back and redefine these lines, the string lines, but it's not necessary. I think with the shading, you can tell really well. Put your chop. I have more space here, so I'm going to put mine over here. Appreciate your work again. Okay. As always, I encourage you to put the names of the patterns on the back. So we did Centipede and Vortex by Sandra Strait, and put the name of the person that deconstructed it and the date and a few things about it. And we used string number 107 from tanglepatterns.com. And some people think that that site is very difficult to use, but I do have a tutorial that I made for my channel, and Linda Farmer, the person who does the tanglepatterns.com, added it to her site, so that if you go to tanglepatterns.com and in the header at the top, the banner, there's one that says tutorials, I believe, and it's one of the first tutorials if you're interested. Okay. So here's the one that we did today, and this is the one that I did on the tissue box, and it was, like I said, very difficult to get the graphite to do what I wanted, and I ended up trying like 3 different graphite pencils, and I didn't like any of them. But the nice thing about using something like this is that you can come back and add the white charcoal pencil. We can do that here, and sometimes you can see it a little bit, sometimes not. But on a tile that has color like this, or a tan tile, you know, you can add that and it really makes a difference. Okay, so there we go. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe, share, leave comments. If you didn't like this video, instead of hitting the unlike, leave me a comment on how you think I can improve. I always have one or two that say they don't like it. So if there's something that you think I can do to improve my videos or my channels, please let me know. All right, thanks again for joining me, and have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.